Desiree, more and more people continue to make their way here at KwaKhangelamankengane Royal Palace. Earlier on, obviously, the Premier of Kwazulu-Natal, Mr. Zikalala, arrived a short while ago, and just a few minutes actually, now we've seen the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, that's Minister Dr. Dlamini Zulu, also arriving here. KwaKhangelamankengane. It would seem, Desiree, that there's a bit of a delay in terms of the program beginning, because according to the program which was issued by the provincial government, the proceedings here were meant to begin at 9 o'clock, but obviously more and more people are actually, starting now to make their way. We saw a short while ago also senior members of the royal family making their way inside that marquee. The former president of the Republic, Mr. Jacob Zuma, is also expected to come here. And I'm just going to bring in my colleague now, Ayanda Mhlongo, who is here with me. Ayanda, a lot has been said about Her Majesty's role in terms of developing rural communities. What are people, ordinary South Africans and those who live particularly in this area of Nongoma, saying about that?
Well, certainly, Simpio, it's been a huge loss. We've spoken to this morning. In fact, throughout the week that you have been here, the numbers of people that you've been engaging with this morning, speaking to the mayor of the district, Thulasizwe Buthelezi, as well as the president of the IFP, talking to us in terms of how the royal family has aided them as party leaders, has aided them as leaders at local government, the municipality, development. The late Queen, the Regent Queen Mantfombi, we know, Simpiwe, very much involved with the youth. She was part of the revival of the old age traditions. And one of the most important one is the Reed Dance, which is an opportunity where the royal family and later on government had an opportunity through that gathering to be able to speak to young maidens, part of moral regeneration, encouraging young maidens. And we also heard throughout the week young maidens also speaking about what a loss this is to them, how the Queen would visit in the various areas. We heard maidens as far as Johannesburg speaking about how throughout the year the late Queen would come and engage with them, encourage them, and so the women as well. We saw the role that the women of Ispiti, and these are the women that the queens work together with in terms of they assist them in executing their duties in their community. They too, Simpiwe, speaking about what a huge loss that the Queen aided them, the Queen supported them in development, growth and development. And so this certainly has been and is going to be, I think, moving forward, Simpiwe. They were concerned about the money of the projects and some of the plans that the Queen had moving forward, that she had planned to further develop this community of Nongoma and surrounding areas. So certainly for them, it is really going to be a difficult time. And I know now many still trying to come to terms with their loss, but it's going to be felt more so in the months ahead, Simpiwe.
Speaking of going ahead, Ayanda, the issue now of succession is the one that is basically on everyone's lips. The departure of the regent has left many people asking themselves what is going to happen now going forward with these court battles by some senior members of the royal family. It would seem that the issue of unity expected to come into sharp focus as now people begin to actually say the chapter is closed. We no longer have a regent, but the question is who will assume the throne of the AmaZulu nation. A very crucial position, Ayanda, in this province of KwaZulu-Natal especially.
Certainly, if we can just turn back, we see now the traditional Prime Minister of AmaZulu nation walking in, Inkosi Mangosuthu Buthelezi. Of course, we know that the role that he has played in terms of the preparations for the internment of the late Queen, and today when it comes to today's memorial service. And of course his role, Simpiwe, he has been in the forefront, making the announcements on behalf of the royal family. And of course, you know, Simpiwe, that in terms of the succession, he is one person that is also deeply involved in those discussions, and he has in fact also voiced his unhappiness, and this is now in the open. He has ventilated this out in the public. You sat down with him recently, Simpiwe, where he was speaking about his unhappiness with how some of the members of the royal family, in fact directing it directly to the late king's sister, Princess Thembi, and the late king's brother, Prince Mbonisi, for what he said were parallel meetings aimed at confusing the members of the royal family and in extension the Zulu nation. Of course, as you say, he is also moving forward, going to be very involved in the discussions around the succession. But of course, Simpiwe, yesterday we learned, and this was confirmed today by the members of the royal family, that the case that had been brought by the late king's first wife, Queen Mantfombi Dlamini Zulu, that matter has now been withdrawn from the Pietermaritzburg High Court role. The parties, we understand, met yesterday, and what the court has then indicated is that moving forward, the two cases, you remember there was the Queen's case where she is claiming 50% of the late king's estate. There was also the matter of her daughters who had also brought an application before the High Court challenging, bringing into question the signature on the will that was read to them. They claiming that they brought in their own handwriting expert, and they are disputing that the signature on the will, and this is the will then, Simpiwe, that was the king's wishes. This is the will where, as Nkosi Buthelezi had told us, where the king had said that he wants the now late regent Mantfombi to be the interim leader as she prepares, or as the royal family prepares for her son, Prince Mrs. Zulu. And as we saw in the program at Simpiwe, we know that Prince Mrs. Zulu is going to be here. In fact, he is going to be paying a tribute to his late mother. So as much as the focus of today, Simpiwe, we know that it is on the memorial service. It is the opportunity for the royal family and the guests that have come here today to honor and celebrate the life of the late Queen. But we know, people have been discussing it, and it's a matter that we can't shy away from, that everybody now wants to know what is going to happen in terms of the succession. Could we hear an announcement today after this memorial service? Certainly that is what we're going to be waiting to hear.
Well, certainly, Ayanda, we will continue, of course, to monitor those developments very closely happening at the Royal House. Inside the marquee, I see that the program has now started. So we're going to throw back to Johannesburg whilst we go and find our way to actually attend to this memorial service. Johannesburg, it's over to you.
Section 1, Session 2, uhulumende wethu ohloniphekile